Welcome to the SFL Blitz Week 3 edition. We begin in Denver. The Blitz game of the week in Week 3 was in the Mile High City. 13-10, Denver on top of San Francisco as we jump to the third quarter, and Sam Blanchek with the touchdown. They should call him Blank Check for what he's getting paid, but he was outstanding on this day. Again, San Francisco trying to cut into the deficit, and Blanchek is all alone. Then Razatarian Sloan with the Sharks still down 7. Look at this onside kick. Watch him stare at it. San Francisco recovers. Now 3rd and goal at the 3. A draw out of the gun. That's gutsy. 27-27. Now 34-27. The Sharks are at it again. Rob Roby to Gabriel Manning in Roby's first game in an SFL uniform, and then in overtime. Sloan, you started the madness. Why don't you finish it? Field goal good, and the Sharks get their first win of the season, 37-34. We spoke with Rob Roby after the game. His son was shot earlier in the week. He's okay, but to play your first game and win it, it was amazing. This is what he said. It was surreal. Life has a way of knocking you down at your highest moments and can leave you lost in trying to find your way back to success. When I got news that my son had been shot while coming from playing basketball, it left me in a dark place, a place that I had not been for years. I'm happy to say that it was the SFL that shed light on such a dark moment in my life when I had very few people to turn to. I recall making a couple of calls that went unanswered. The SFL responded immediately when I reached out. For that, I am eternally grateful to have such a great community of people respond with so much empathy and kind words. The win against Denver showed me that even while life can be harsh on good people, there is always some good left in this world. What a story. Rob Roby gets his first career win, his first comeback win in his first career game. Now, Oklahoma City out to New Orleans as some teams, a lot of teams in Week 2, got their first wins of the season. Opening drive, Week 3 rather. New Orleans gets an interception, and that would spark trouble for Oklahoma City. The former Renegade, Dunk Bunkers, is loose. Pharaohs took the lead, but just before the half-day, Drury forces the fumble, and Oklahoma City tacks on a field goal. Now New Orleans up 27-23, and the Deacon is putting out dimes, 30-27. Now, fourth quarter, Tank Bennett picks it off, and Tank Bennett is loose. A 96-yard interception return for a touchdown, and Tank Bennett would put the game out of reach. 34-30, the Pharaohs get their first franchise victory. We talked to defensive coordinator David Gantz after the game, and he had this to say about Tank Bennett. I truly believe Tank Bennett was the steal of the draft. Last week, when I saw Tank intercept the ball, and oh my, we lost the quote there on Bennett. We'll try to get that up. We'll try to get that up as soon as we can. But until then, we'll move on to the highlights. Queen City and Baltimore. Boy, Queen City had plenty of chances to score in this one. Doink off the pole on their opening drive. Then, at the beginning of the second quarter, Caswell is picked by Hendricks Thornberry in the red zone. Still nothing's on the board. How about Baltimore? Can they get a touchdown? 3rd and goal from the goal line, and Dazzo decides to throw. That ends in just a field goal. Flash forward to the fourth quarter. Ash Odom, the touchdown machine, getting going. Queen City's up 10-3, but that's when the Vultures turned on the heat. Shea Carroll from Mike Dazzo ties the game at 10. And then with 35 seconds to go, Dazzo, ice water in his veins. Garrett Malone, 30, 20, 10, and tackled at the 1. They wouldn't make the same mistake twice. T. Roy Gaines scores 17-10. Baltimore gets their first
snap,
win.
and the kick is
blocked,
and the ball is loose, recovered by Vancouver at the 21-yard line.
Chicago blocked turnover
goal.
if you're a Wildcat
10
fan.
and
30
6
seconds to
to 3.
go in the third. Late in the third
Split
quarter.
backs for Blitz.
Vancouver trying to score a
shuffles
touchdown,
the feet,
and AJ
fires,
Barnes
it's intercepted at the goal
Vancouver
line
would
by
eventually
AJ Barnes.
get things
Down
right
in 13
in the fourth quarter.
as
Mark
Blitz is
deep
looking long in the wide open, and nobody in
catch.
sight.
Trevor Farrell,
That's
nobody's gonna
Trevor
touch him.
Farrell,
Vancouver
and that's a
takes care of
touchdown
Chicago,
for
16-6.
Vancouver
They improve
as Chicago's
2-1
defense
and
is
2. Well, there was
burned.
no problem scoring points in this one. Las Vegas at Dallas. We go to the second quarter. Shabazz Synergy. This guy was a touchdown machine. This one out to junior, senior, the third, and then Robert Redford. How would he respond? Like that, and then like that. Touchdown for Robert Redford, and the Fury down by just 3. Now, Las Vegas up 1. Synergy. What a laser! Out to Mike Osai. He was all over this game. Fury up again. 28-27 to start the fourth. Synergy again. Touchdown to the big tight end. 28-37. Vegas would not go away. Look at this pursuit of the quarterback, and from behind, taking the legs out from Synergy and forcing a fumble. Too little too late, but we got to show it. Max Jackson, back-to-back weeks with a kickoff return. But Vegas falls to Dallas, and the Lobos become the 4th team in week 3 to get their first win of the season. Well, all of those quarterbacks in all 4 victories had 300 or more yards passing. So here are the top quarterbacks from the SFL so far this season in terms of QBR and touchdown interception ratio. How about Deacon Nickens up at the top of the charts, 116.5, but look there, number 4. Kentez Johnson, the only rookie on the board, 8 touchdowns, 6 picks with 101.5 QBR. Ron Cochran and Josh Miller doing their things. Josh Miller, by the way, in that San Francisco game did not throw an incompletion until the third quarter. That is unbelievable. When we come back, we'll take a look at how the top 2 teams from last season fared as the SFL Blitz continues. The defending champion Sioux Falls, or Alaska Storm, host of the Sioux Falls Sparrows on the opening drive. Alex Dominguez at 2.5 sacks. Say no more. The dominance began early. Ron Cochran was impressive. Optimus Klein to the back corner of the end zone. Now it's 10-0 Alaska. And Tyree still having trouble. Throws a pick over the middle. It was all Alaska all the time. 13-0 late in the first half. Cochran again from the 4-yard line. Touchdown, just standing there, waiting on the football. Jason Julian needs a pay raise. Second half, Sioux Falls turn it around. The answer was emphatic. 2 backs, 3 receivers. Tyree runs in to another sack. Boy, this is getting old. That was AJ, the best SFL nation. Third and goal at the 2. Cochran in zone, touchdown. Robert Merrill now 34-3. And that brings us to the Spy Goat of week 3. And it's Ron Cochran, 46 of 54, 420 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Ron Cochran, the Spy Goat of week 3. Well, Alaska wasn't the only team in the Season 10 championship game. How about Tallahassee visiting Tulsa? This game was defensive early too. Hey, Charles Ball in the end zone, making things happen. Still no score. Late first quarter. Michael Martin's in the gun, waiting patiently. And Alex Bond is going to knock this away. 6-3 late in the first half. Martin just that close to scoring a touchdown, but Tulsa would have to settle for another field goal. Now, you see Jaye Inyola's numbers right there. He was pretty much bottled up until this play. 6-6, and Jaye Inyola is not touched. Just cruising to the end zone. No way anybody's going to catch that. Tallahassee up 13-6, and you bet that is, in fact, a touchdown for the Pride. A nice little celebration there for Inyola, quieting the crowd. Tulsa had plenty of opportunities, down 7, but their running game was really bad on this day. Less than 1 yard to carry. Hunter Norwood with the tackle in the backfield. Tallahassee, just like Alaska, is 3-0, and that makes history. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, one team that made the championship last season started a season 3-0. In fact, most of the time, champions and runner-ups start the next season awful. It's the first time in league history that one team that was in the championship of the previous season has started 3-0, and both of them have done it here in season 10. Look at that. Overall, champions and runners-up in league history are 14-34 in their first 3 weeks of action. You're watching the SFL Blitz. We've got some SFL shenanigans that went on in week 3, and we'll touch on that when we return. You're watching the SFL Blitz on the Friday Night Lights Halftime Report. Ah, yes, the Eggplant Bowl. London and Carolina, first quarter. Phil Hall, in the first minute actually, picks off Nathan Lee, but that would actually be his only interception of the night, but not London's only turnover. Next drive, Tristan Carr fumbles. This time Carolina would capitalize. Hand off to A.J. Francis, and the Skyhawks are in for 6. 7-0, and look at Francis dropping an eggplant in the end zone. Early second quarter, Nathan Lee finally gets it going, finds James Hands for the touchdown. 7-7, now 14-7. Jacques Ulandula, look at that pass in between 4 defenders. He's having a great first 3 weeks of the season. Third quarter, 17-10, Carolina's up. This was close. Donnie Hands got the touchdown. Upon further review, did stretch the ball over the goal line, and it was in fact a touchdown. But somebody's got to cover Jalen Miller. Jalen Miller's got 4 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, all of 50-plus yard variety. And Carolina goes up 24-17. 1 second left. Oh, no. Not another Hail Mary against the Skyhawks. No, Nathan Lee's pass is knocked away. And that ends the highlights from Carolina and London. So, who's next? Well, we go to the Hive in Atlanta, where Houston and Atlanta played a close competitive game. The Doctor is in for his only catch of the day. Houston goes up 7-3. Still pretty ball from Kentez Johnson as Johnson's pass caught by Badir Ashlani, who breaks a tackle, and Houston's all over Atlanta early, 14-3. This was Johnson's day. Now to the second half. 20-13. Mahmoud Ashlani was the only player that was getting in Johnson's head on this day. 3 interceptions as the Ashlani brothers were going back and forth in Atlanta. Marcus Dunhill, deep ball to Boone Chisholm, tied the game. But Kentez Johnson, too much. Hits his 3rd different receiver for a touchdown, and Houston wins 27-20. Indianapolis at St. Louis, and this one was all Gladiators. Dylan Asil hit as he threw, but a perfect pass into the end zone for a score. 13-6, St. Louis on top of Indy. Now it's the 4th quarter, and now Denzel Diaz is going to rumble in for a touchdown. That made it 20-6. St. Louis loving it. Now 2-1 are the St. Louis Gladiators. And Indy, late in the game, trying to come back. Ethan Kai with the interception. St. Louis gets the victory. Hey, fan night is coming up Monday, and it's going to be a good one. St. Louis at Carolina. St. Louis has improved their offense by a touchdown a game. The all-time series history is tied at 1, and look at those turnover differentials. +7 for St. Louis, +4 for Carolina. That's Monday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Fan night game of the week with Steven and myself on Twitch TV. Well, it's what you've all been waiting for besides the second half of Baltimore and Mexico City if you're catching this live. It's the top 10 plays of week 3. Number 10, Dunk takes care of his former team.
Seems to get the bonkers, and Dunk will pick up the first down.
Gets the job done, and OKC burns their last TO. So the fat lady is running through her scales.
A great block by the guys up front.
Number 9, Rob Roby's career is on the board.
Denver stacking the box. They'll back out into coverage. Doesn't matter. Mickey Martino. Touchdown, Sharks.
Yeah, and I called it. You know, it's like a Pavlov dog reaction. Denver were, sort of expecting probably a run play. But no, it's an opening for San Francisco. They caught them unaware, probably. And touchdown.
Number 8, the Deacon is collecting and putting dimes in the basket.
Drops deep, goes over the middle, Bovine to the skies, catches the second touchdown of the game.
We'll see you, Pharaohs.
Tiberius going deep on the post. Beats Compton, who went up for the ball and just perfectly thrown by the Deacon. Everybody say amen.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Number 7,
5-step drop here by Angel, gets pressure, makes a man miss. He steps up into the pocket. He has all day long. Now he decides to run it, and he picks up about 15 yards on that play. First and 10 on the run and scramble of Dylan Aisel.
Yeah, it's very Steve Young-esque, man. He's in there, and he's willing to throw deep, and he's got an arm on him, but he is not afraid to take it out. I mean, that's the third or fourth time we've seen him run. It's the second first down he's picked up.
Number 6, Emil is better with 2 scoops to end it.
Throws over the middle, tipped and intercepted. Oh, it was off the hands of the receiver, and he was picked up by Eddie Gage. Eddie Gage has just ended the ball game, and that is it. Houston is going to pick up a win. They're going to go to 2-1 on the year. It was zipped in a bit too fast for the receiver. Unfortunate for Atlanta.
Number 5, Hendricks with 2 X's getting filthy.
Yarder from here. Caswell goes long right side. That's picked off at the 6-yard line, and that is Baltimore's secondary making a really big statement there, stopping Caswell before he can get it.
Wild Thornberry out there making the play, keeping the game scoreless. Really nice coverage, and he one-handed that as he turned around and took it away from a teammate. What a brilliant play. Number 4, Redford can't be pulled over.
Get to Redford up the middle, runs over 2 people,
he's
and there goes Robert Redford to the end zone. 40 yards in one play, touchdown Las Vegas.
Woo, woo. Boom goes the dynamite, right there. Hey, Dallas, I'll see your answer. Touchdown of our own.
Watch this first hit. Boom. And then he just makes Cain Velasquez look silly.
Lowers his shoulder, and he's got a head of steam. Basic physics right there.
Number 3,
Lee
stop.
in the gun.
You need a hole
First
pass.
down and 10. Fires over the middle, and it is picked off. Intercepted by the Skyhawks defense. Phil Hall from the inside linebacker position with the pick.
Holmes back in zone and reads it. Oh, he one-handed that thing. Wow, it's one thing when a wide receiver can do it. When your linebacker can moss a pass, that's impressive.
Number 2, the tank is loose and the Pharaohs have
Let's
risen.
go, duck to the end zone. It's picked off.
Oh my!
It's picked off by Tank Bennett, and Bennett is running.
no!
Oh, he's in the open field. There goes Tank Bennett all the way back from his own 5,
No
95
flags.
yards to the end zone.
Oh my gosh!
And the Deacon is robbed again.
Oh, Arrington called that pick in the chat. Holy cow!
Tank Bennett using those go-go gadget arms and some great blocks from his defensive mates turns this game on its head.
Number 1, Razatarian
San Francisco goes for the onside kick here, and they do. We'll see if they're able to field it. Ball bouncing around. Big old hop. Denver's still on the... Oh, the ball is still on the field. San Francisco is able to field it. That is the most insane onside kick I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh boy, the ball was, as we see the replay, the ball was in front of the Denver player. I gotta catch who it was, but San Francisco just picks it up before he does. What a play.
Those are your top 10 plays of Week 3. And this has been the Week 3 SFL Blitz. Stay tuned to the SFL YouTube network for Week 4's edition, presented by APM Music.